Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Greg's Restorations. Today we're driving a 1999 Toyota 4Runner. It's a factory four-wheel drive truck that came out of South Carolina. It's got just over 211,000 miles on it. It does have the original engine in it. It does run pretty good, but it needs a tune-up. We're going to be completely going through everything, as well as doing a full mechanical restoration, pulling the engine out. I'm not sure if the customers are going to be doing a swap on this or not, but it's a pretty nice vehicle for its age. It's pretty rust-free. The underside of it is, you could eat off of. Vehicles from the Northeast, are usually pretty rusty, so it's nice to have a nice rust-free candidate to start a build on. I'm pretty excited about this build, and stay tuned. Here with a 1999 Toyota 4Runner SR5 four-wheel drive. So this vehicle came into our shop about a year ago and was in pretty good shape. Had a few issues with just being a very high mileage vehicle. It's got 211,000 miles on it. It had its dings and dents. The vehicle had been painted once before, so like the clear coat was delaminating and rusting here and there, but other than that, it was in really, really good shape. We didn't do actually anything to the interior except for some small restoration on it, just because it was in such good shape. But everything else had been completely gone through, from engine to transmission to front differential to rear differential to suspension to brakes to bumpers to lights. Everything else had been done. This vehicle, being a third gen, was 96 to 2002. It's a pretty unique body style. Everybody really likes it. It's very popular. A lot of these Toyotas are always still on the road and everybody drives them until they're dead. So this thing was restored to better than factory spec. It is gorgeous. Everything about this vehicle looks and drives better than new. Thankfully, this one came in running and driving, stopped, everything functioned with it other than the rear gate. And it had a couple little issues, but other than that, you could have daily driven this vehicle with minimum work. So the customers actually did a good job on finding a really good candidate. This build took us about, I would say, just under a year to do. I would say it's about 1,000 hours worth of work we have into this vehicle. Everything in the engine bay had to be completely redone. Everything was sandblasted, painted, and completely restored. This engine bay is probably one of the cleanest engine bays on a third gen 4Runner that I have ever seen. This vehicle is absolutely probably one of the nicest third gen 4Runners in the States. We have spent so many hours being meticulous about restoring this vehicle, as we are with all of our other projects. So this 4Runner came with the V6 option. You could have got a 4-cylinder or the V6 model, V6 option in the States. So this is a 5VZ FE engine. It's got about 200 horsepower. So this is a reman Jasper engine that we got for it. The original engine was really tired. So doing a full restoration, we wanted to get a good engine with a good warranty. One of the nice things about the Jasper remanufactured engine, it comes with a great warranty, and it is a US remanufacturing company. So there's other brands out there that remanufacture engines, but they're from overseas or Mexico. So we wanted to stay with a US company. Probably the only aftermarket accessory we have in the engine bay is the Vortex cold air intake on it. Just gives it a little bit better performance over the stock airbox, and it looks custom feel that we're going for with this truck. It also has a Motorrad aftermarket radiator. So this vehicle had every piece of weather stripping redone. We restored all the glass. We put a brand new front windshield in it. One of the cool other features is we added a limited hood onto this vehicle with the hood scoop. This was an SR5, so it didn't come with the cooler hood, but it's got a built-in hood scoop on it right from the factory. A lot of the parts on this vehicle were vapor blasted or Cerakoted. Cerakote makes a bunch of different products, and one of my new favorite products that we used on this is a plastic restorer. It rejuvenates the old plastics on these, 90s vehicles, because they all fade in the sun and stuff like that, and you can't buy the stuff new anymore. Aftermarket brake setup on it as well. We did a upgraded power stop brake system on it with slotted rotors, because it has bigger tires on it than stock, so we wanted everything to be a little bit better stopping performance. And it also is mated with a set of stainless steel brake lines throughout the whole vehicle. Everything on the underside of the truck was wire wheeled and repainted, and then we did a nice two-tone underneath. We did a nice undercoating on the underside of the body, but all the suspension and the axles are all painted with a nice gloss paint. Everything has a good contrast under there. Our friends over at POR 15 helped us out with a lot of our paints and undercoatings for this project as well. So anything you see underneath the rig was from POR 15. MagnaFlow performance exhaust system on it as well. It sounds really nice. Doesn't drone really too bad inside the cab, but it has a nice sound on the outside for a V6. Most of the drivetrain is original on this vehicle, other than the suspension and brakes. The vehicle did have a few electrical gremlins on it as well. This truck has 211,000 miles on it. Previous mechanics working on it and stuff, so we did find some burnt wiring and some mice damage and stuff like that, but overall, everything was in pretty good shape. We just have about 500 miles on the build now, so it'll be heading home soon to the customer. JVC 7-inch touchscreen sound system to this vehicle with upgraded speakers from Alpine. One of the unique features that I like is the Victory 4x4 front and rear bumpers. Front bumper is a winch-ready bumper, and it comes powder-coated in black. We added a 10,000-pound Trail FX winch with a matching set of Trail FX limited edition black LED lights. So we also did a matching Victory 4x4 rear bumper as well, with a spare tire carrier with a set of rear Trail FX cube reverse lights as well. This also has a bunch of accessories from SRQ, one of the leading manufacturers for 3rd gen 4Runner parts. So we get the suspension from them. So the suspension kit has ADS shocks in it from Arizona Desert Shocks. So it rides really nice, and it has a nice stance to it. This vehicle, we added a 3-inch lift through it. Interior aftermarket switches from them, LED headlights and LED tail lights on it. Aftermarket Toyota grille as well, and it has like Raptor style lights in it. We did a nice set of Method Racing 17-inch wheels with a set of 285-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. All of our builds, we put BF Goodriches on them. They just ride so good going down the road, and they look the part for the vintage Toyota restorations. It did have some issues, like the body had some paint issues, like the clear coat was delaminating, so it had like a cheaper paint job on it at one time, maybe like a Mako or something like that. So we had to strip the body down to a good substrate to paint over. So like we had to sand it back down to the factory paint or the factory primer. It had some dings and dents, a little bit of rust in some areas, so everything was sanded down, body worked, reprimed, seam sealed, and rust proofed. So this vehicle will last for many more years to come. All of our base coats and undercoats and clear coats are from our friends over at Sherwin-Williams Automotive. The paint coat on this vehicle is 4UO. It's a sandstorm paint. It's non-metallic. It's like a newer Toyota color. You see it on the newer FJ Cruisers, pickups, and 4Runners. One of the craziest and coolest things about restoring this vehicle was I never thought I would be restoring late 90s or early 2000s SUVs. These vehicles are starting to come up in age, you know, they're over 20 years old and people like driving them. They're just old enough to be a classic car, but they're still modern enough to have fuel injection and modern brakes. Really enjoyable to be working on some of these classic Toyotas and making them last for many years to come. We normally specialize in the older Land Cruisers and pickups, but you know, a lot of people are asking us to do these newer 3rd gen 4Runners and pickups. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Make sure you go to our website, gregsrestorations.com and gregstoyotarestorations.com, and go to our store, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, help the YouTube channel grow. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video as well. We'll see you on the next ride.